what's going on? Today we've got 5 skills. Once again, you guys have been enjoying the videos recently and the support on them has been great. Thank you very much for that. Today we've got a video that I did a while back, and I'm talking like a couple of years ago. I've got 5 skills to nutmeg your opponent. Now there's 5 already on my channel that you guys can go see. I'll leave a link down below in the description, but these are 5 fresh ones for you guys to use. If you do enjoy this type of content, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, it's free. You just click the big red button down below. Once you've logged in, it'll subscribe you. And yeah, let's get into it. So the first skill that we're going to be doing is a step over with a cannon, and you kind of implement a little jump in there. Now I'm going to break it down and then we'll get into it, okay? So as we're approaching our defender, the first movement you're going to make, and people get this wrong sometimes, the step over, the normal step over is going inside to out, okay? We're not going out to in, we're going to go inside to out, just like that. So then when you put the jump in, you're kind of kicking the ball with your left foot onto your right, just like that. So if you're following so far, we've got a step over and then jump just into your feet like that. Now the cannon, you guys know what the cannon is. It's this one right here. Bang bang. That's the cannon. So we're going to implement that to try and get the ball through the defender's leg. Now we've got Cal and we're going to get him in for the defending part. But for right now, we're going to use these 2 cones right here. So we're going to use these 2 stand poles as a way to show the megs, okay? Splitting the defender's legs is one thing, but then putting the ball through is another. So when we talk about the double touch for the cannon, the first touch is actually on the jump here, and the second touch is this foot right here. So when we're going through the poles, you want to be kind of going out and then back in, okay? So I'd be approaching and coming around and flicking it through just like that. Now the speed of the skill is what will sell the defender. That's what we're going to focus on. And the actual technique of it is what makes it look beautiful, okay? So I'll do it on the spot to start with, then we'll put a bit of movement in, okay? So around through the legs like that, okay? That first jump will take the defender across, open their legs, and that's when we put it across. You'll see when we do the examples with Cal, you'll see how it works. So second skill now, we've got the drag flick. Now, kind of touched on it in one video not long ago, but this one's like probably one of my favourite to use. I used it in probably one of my first ever videos on the channel. So the skill has 2 touches, okay? The first touch is a drag across the body, and the second touch is going to be with your back leg, kicking the ball through, okay? So if you guys remember the skill, then great stuff, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to drag the ball across, just as so, and this back leg is going to come through, like that. When we go at a fast pace, you get kind of a little bit of a jump in with a bit of flair, but it's very important that you're dragging the ball across with emphasis, is if you're going to take the ball this way, and that's when you feel your defender and put it underneath. So it might be vocal emphasis, like a yes, or a name, or it might be just showing me your body. Yes! And you're through. It's good to practice on these little things first. It's a good little training exercise, and then you don't need 2 people here as well. If you've got 2 cones, or 2 anything really, they work. Moving on to the third skill now. I don't really have a name for it. It's kind of jumping the ball up with 2 feet and flicking it through someone's legs. Now, not doing it on a defender won't make too much sense, but when we bring Cal in, it'll make a lot of sense. Okay, so the actions you want to be doing on here, trapping the ball between our legs. We did one kind of similar down the line in a winger video not long ago. Check that in the description. All we're going to be doing is jumping up to one side, right or left, and then we can flick it through the defender's legs. Again, when we're megging people, when we're nutmegging people, the idea is you've got to be able to open their legs, okay? So you've got to make them make a move for you to make the gap through. No defender's going to run at you like this. It just won't happen, will it, Cal? No, it won't happen. Okay, you've got to make them do something, whether it's a body feint, whether it's a drag, just like we did with the drag flick, you've got to make them do something. So if I was to jump this way, it would open their legs this way a little bit, and that's where the angle is. Okay, I'm going to go straight in the cones here, just to show you. Okay, so once I've trapped it like this, their legs will probably be about that. Okay, and there's no real room for it. A little bit of room, not much. But once I jump out here, this leg will come across a little bit, and it opens your gap, just like that. Okay, so I'll give you an idea of what it looks like. So once we've trapped it, we're jumping up, and then flicking it through like that. Okay, once we go a little bit faster pace, it'll make a lot more sense. A little bit faster pace now, so as we'd approach, we trap, up, and flicking through just like that. Okay, so again, moving the leg out, and then we can kind of push it through. Right, moving on to the elastico now. Everyone knows what the elastico is. We've done it many times on the channel, but I've never done it focused on trying to get through someone's legs. Okay? So the angle of the cones are going to represent the angle of the legs. Okay? So if I move this one here, and I'll kind of show you why in a second. You might see Marcus Rashford do this a lot. He loves doing it. So with the normal elastico, you're kind of doing it quite straight, just to kind of get a little bit of movement. With this, when you go through someone's legs, Ronaldinho, Marcus Rashford, the best two at doing it, they get the ball right out the feet, and then they cut it back inside. Okay? So as they go out, they go right out, and then flick it through just like that. I'll show you again on this angle. So when they're approaching, they push it right out, because we're trying to make the defender move their leg, and then we're flicking it through. Okay? So it's right out and flick back again. So you see the two different movements on that. It's a lot more prominent with cutting it back inside. So it's approaching, slow down, and then we're flicking it through just like that. Okay? That was a slow pace. When we get the defenders in, it'll be a lot quicker. So the last skill now is going to be the hazard turn, but we're going to use it as a way to nutmeg someone. Okay, so the hazard turn looks a little bit like this. Okay, I called it the hazard turn just because I've seen Hazard use it. I don't know what the actual name is for it. But as you come forward, you're dragging it across just like the drag flick, and as you get back turned, you're dragging it back across to then take it this way, faking the defender in that way to then pull it out to the right. Okay, so I'll show you that one again. So we're dragging it across and dragging it back. That's the normal hazard turn. So we're going to use a little bit of a different movement for the nutmeg. We've got to kind of get our body right across, okay? So as we'll be coming across, I know these are very open right now, just to give you an idea. So we're dragging it over, and then we're flicking it through, just like so, okay? So if I was to come back through, so we're dragging it across, and flicking through, and we're gone. Just like that. Very simple, but very effective. The emphasis comes from that drag once again, okay? You've got to open the player's legs by dragging it right across, as if you're going to take it this way, they step across, and then we pull it back through the legs, okay? So make sure we get the emphasis right first, and then we can kind of get the skills going, okay? Let's get into me and Cal now. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new. It's free. A lot of you guys aren't subscribed, so it'd be good if you do. Thank you for the support on the recent videos. I do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next